Hello everybody, my name is Rick Company and here is Sapporo Station, the main railway station of this city and also whole Hokkaido. Through my other videos, you understood what is Sapporo and its features, pros and cons. In this video, I will tell you about where you stay, public transport, and how to make your own route, kind of that. Yes, it's time to discover Sapporo. New Chitose Airport, the gateway to Sapporo, is a bit far from the city center. It's about 50 kilometers, about the double distance as Heathrow Airport to City of London. So getting from the airport to the city center is the first step in traveling in Sapporo. It's not as confusing as Tokyo or Osaka. It's not like there are multiple ways to get to city. There's only one type of train and few buses. For train, you can take the Express Airport line from the airport station. It takes you directly to Sapporo Station in downtown Sapporo. As you can see, it costs 1,150 yen and takes just over 30 minutes. It's a very fast and convenient way to get to the city. The only downside is that it only goes to Sapporo Station. The bus is a bit more expensive than the train and takes longer. It takes over an hour, which is more than twice as long as train. But there are lots of different routes. You can go to Sapporo Station and you can also go to the Susukino and Odori Park directly. Do you want to get off at Sapporo Station and take the subway with your luggage to Susukino? Or just take a bus to Susukino in one trip? If your accommodation is near Sapporo Station, the train is definitely the way to go. But if you need to get to Susukino or Tanukikoji, bus or train is a matter of preference. First of all, summer in Sapporo is cool, but not cold, so you don't really need a pack of jacket. Also, the summers are relatively dry here, so there's nothing to worry about. It's in the winter that people worry about the weather. How cold it is it bearable? How much should I pack? Actually, Sapporo is a very snowy city, but not super cold. Although the snowy and cold periods are long, but the winter peaks in February and January, temperatures are similar with Seoul and lower than Siberia. So it's not like you need to take extra precautions. Of course, it depends on where you come from. If you're a Mediterranean or tropical, it will be cold. These are few things to consider. First, you are a traveler. You spend a lot of time outdoors. And restaurant in the center of Sapporo has a long waits. No matter how thick you wear, the cold gets through during the wait. But spending 10 minutes shivering is different with 30 minutes shivering. Of course, if you want to enjoy the hot ramen broth in paradise, you can wear lightly. I'm not responsible for that. And BA or Furano is also major places to visit. And it's definitely colder here in the hinterlands than in Sapporo. So the thing you should think before you decide your clothes is, are you okay with this for hour at outside? In terms of shoes, if you're just going around the city of Sapporo, you can wear whatever you want. The snow melts quickly on city streets, but if you're a little bit of hipster and like to go to back streets, then you're going to need some grip and cold protection. Feet in direct contact with the ground get freeze really fast. And shoes that you don't mind getting dirty and wet. You will walk through the melted snow and sometimes you will have to trudge through snow. Clean and expensive shoes go easily dirty. And the one season I would say to avoid is March between April, when the snow melts. The food is still delicious and the city is gorgeous, but it's the ground you have to walk on. No one wants to walk on this, right? Of course, because of this, flight tickets are cheaper during this season, but it's also the off-season of Sapporo and Hokkaido, so don't expect too much. One of the biggest advantages of Sapporo, easy public transportation. There are subways, trams, and buses in the city. The subway is easier than in Osaka because there are only 3 lines, radial lines that only intersect in the center of the city. And from Sapporo Station to Susukino, which has the most traffic, there is a very good underground passage. If you go around this section, you will probably never have to take the subway. The second is streetcar, a historical line that opened in 1918. As you can see from the map, there are not many tourist spots on the line, except for the part of Susukino and the Moyoyama ropeway. So you can take it from Susukino to the mountain observatory. You pay when you get off and it's flat 200 yen. The last option is the bus, which will be quite complicated, but you may ride the bus when you go to Moerenuma Park or Sapporo Beer Garden. It's a bit too far to walk. You can use Google Maps to find the route, and unlike the streetcar, you have to get your ticket when you ride. So it's a good idea to use IC card, but you don't have to buy this card in Sapporo. You can also use your card from Tokyo or Kansai, Suica, Pasmo, Ikoka. Unfortunately, all three are not free to transfer, and there are some passes for Sapporo as well, but you don't actually take the subway or tram 3 or 4 times a day. It means you don't need a transportation pass as well. If you're going to take a subway more than 3 or 4 times per day, on the weekend, you can buy a Donichika Kipu pass at the ticket machine in the subway station. Why the transportation is also easy. First, the JR railway. There's really only one train station in the city. It's Sapporo Station, where you take the train to outside of Sapporo. That's all. No need to explain anything. Unlike Tokyo and Osaka, you don't have to take JR to get around the city. There's no such thing as Yamanote line of Tokyo. So you only take the JR train if you want to go far. Buses are a bit more complicated than train. You can take a lot of buses near Sapporo Station, but they are scattered around the areas, so it can be a bit confusing, but once you find a bus stop in anywhere, you will be able to find all the information you need. Or you can take the bus from bus center at the east end of Odori Park. This is what we usually think of as the central bus terminal. Buses picking up people from the Sapporo station stop here and then depart for their actual destination. This is also an important part of trip. In Sapporo, most travelers' accommodations are located in the Sapporo Station area, Susukino, and a little bit further out, Nakajima Park. And there's a reason why there are so many accommodations along this line. Because this is the alpha and omega of traveling in Sapporo. And it's only 2 or 3 subway stops away, so it doesn't matter where you stay, it will not ruin your route. But if you want to make an optimized route, first of all, the area around Sapporo Station has the most plausible hotels. It's a combination of 2 things, the railway hub of Hokkaido, and there are government offices here. So there are actually a lot of branded hotels, more domestic Japanese brands than international brands. There's JR Mats, which is operated by JR East in Tokyo area. If you travel a lot of Japan, you will recognize Route Inn, My Stay. You'll be familiar with those brands in different cities. However, the streets are not very lively, except for the facilities attached to the station. If you're looking for bars and a lively restaurant, I wouldn't recommend this area. Instead, it is good for who wants lots of day trip. It's because both train and bus depart from Sapporo Station. Or maybe you want lots of restaurants and bars nearby your place. If you want that, you will have to go to Susukino. There are all kind of brands here. Susukino is really good to hang out with your friends. A little vague place is near Odori Park. It's both mid-far and close to downtown and traffic hub. Also, when traveling in Sapporo, where you don't often take the subway, so the advantage of this 3-line transfer is not so obvious. So if you're looking for a place to stay, I recommend going to either the station or Susukino. Another option is Nakajima Park. There's a bus that goes directly from the airport too, and it's only 3 stops on the subway to Sapporo Station. There are plenty of nice hotels and the park is a great place to walk around. If you're looking for a nice place to stay, Nakajima Park is a good option. First, Sapporo is further north than anywhere else on the main islands of Japan, so obviously the days are shorter in winter and it gets dark quickly. Conversely, the days are long in summer. Also, the west of Sapporo, where sun goes down, is totally mountainous, so in winter it's already dark after 3 o'clock. The length of the day is important when enjoying the observatory and park. If you go in winter, you can usually plan to finish your daytime activities before 3 p.m. Especially if you want to go up to observatory and get a good daytime view, you should go up before 3 p.m. Second, Sapporo is 4th most populous city in Japan. But Japan is still Japan, and there are still many places that only accept cash. This is especially true for smaller eateries. So even if you do all your shopping with credit card, it's a good idea to carry around 5,000 yen in cash as an emergency fund. Finally, the third, New Chitose Airport is very well equipped airport. There are hot spring, ramen shops, and lots of things to do. So if you're leaving Sapporo in the late afternoon or evening and you're not sure what to do in the city, you can go to the airport and kill your time. Many of these facilities are located in the domestic building, but you can just go from international buildings to domestic too. The airport is fun to visit, even you have more 6 hours before your flight. When you want to spend one full day to Sapporo, this is the route I recommend to take. First, have a breakfast at Nijo Market. It's one of the few places that opens at 7 a.m. So it's the perfect place to start your day. Eating fresh food will make you feel fresh for the day. Next, walk through Odori Park via Sosei River. The TV tower is optional. You can go out with 1,000 yen or not. Then also stop by the clock tower right next to the park. Walk up to the train station and take a bus to the beer garden. You will be hungry after beer tasting at the beer garden. Return to Sapporo Station for lunch. There are tons of great restaurants in Stellar Place dining area. Then take the subway to Maruyama Park. If you have time, you can check out the zoo, or you can just go to Shrine and Park. And after you're done with that, you can take a bus from Maruyama Park to Moyayama Observatory. Enjoy the amazing view of Sapporo in there. After it becomes dark, get down from the observation deck. It's time for dinner. You can take the streetcar back to Susukino naturally. After eating, it's free time. You can have a drink in Susukino, or you can see Odori Park at night. How's that for a natural itinerary? So there you have it, my guide to traveling around Sapporo. Let's summarize what we learned today.
Yes, this is it. Now you learn about how to travel this city, Sapporo. I believe in that you can do everything very well, even you have dropped in this city without any plan. This place where I finished this video is the main arcade street in Sapporo, Tanuki Koji. Thank you for watching this long video and thank you again.